What is the trade market looking like right now with me being a little bit fretful that what you say could be dated within 5 minutes from now? But just give it to me. What do you got?
We're live, so we can talk about it right now. 27 hours out from the deadline here. I would say the two key spots to watch are going to be wide receiver and edge rusher. There are a lot of wide receivers who potentially are available. Mike Williams, even though the Jets won last week, that's certainly a name that's going to come up in trade talks here. Do people make another run at guys like Courtland Sutton from the Broncos, who, they certainly have had offers really over the last couple of years here for him? How does Sean Payton feel about that roster at this point? That one would not be cheap, but that's certainly a name to keep in mind. Darius Slayton, who we talked about yesterday on game day morning, he got banged up in the game yesterday. I think he got a concussion check. But that's a name that was potentially going to be moving. And then you got all the edge rushers. Did not sound when I came on the show as if anything was imminent between the Lions and the Browns for Za'Darius Smith. It seemed for like 3 weeks that that's probably going to happen, but it's not actually taken place just yet. There certainly is going to be interest in guys like Bryce Huff, who was one of the Eagles' big free agent signings, played all 6 snaps yesterday after getting his hand apparently banged up in warmups or something. That's a name that I would think is going to get some potential action. Azeez Ojulari is on that spot on that list as well. Edge rusher is a premium position. There's a lot of teams that are going to be in that market. And you look at the number of wide receiver injuries, Rich, always file that away. Obviously, the Steelers have just been looking perpetually for like 8 months now to add one more. I would think they get one, but I think the Texans potentially are going to add a wide receiver here. Teams like San Francisco and Tampa have had injuries at that position. We've already had 4 wide receivers traded, and I'd personally be surprised if we don't have 5 or 6 by the time this thing is done.
Yeah, man. If I'm the Texans, though, I go for shopping in the offensive line market. Is that even available? Is that even possible? Do you think, Tom?
We've seen some moves already. Cam Robinson,
yeah.
Was a big one there. The Brandon Scherf, who's also, play a lot of games, been a very good player. He's in Jacksonville as well. That's a potential name that people could target here. And then there's also, one of the things that GMs ask right now is just like, who's really selling? In other words, not just who's got 1 or 2 guys available, like who's selling. And there are a bunch of those teams. The Browns, as long as it's not about Myles Garrett, they're going to listen on practically anything. Tennessee is certainly going to listen. The Raiders, again, they fired Luke Getsy late last night. They fired the quarterbacks coach and the offensive line coach. They got all kinds of moving parts there. But if you're Las Vegas, you have to be thinking, we need all the ammo we can get to go and get a quarterback in the draft next year. Whether we end up with the number 1 pick or the number 10 pick, we got to be prepared. They already traded Devontae Adams. They got a high pick for him. But could you get interest in, let's say, a Jacoby Myers? They do have some offensive linemen. Could they end up trading one of those guys? I don't think that they trade Max Crosby. That would really, really surprise me. It doesn't sound like there's any plans to do that. But if they get a call on Jack Jones, that's what GMs and pro scouts are doing right now, is figuring out, who exactly is available.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.